sell here in about a day after it gets nice and cold. Good morning and welcome back to the Tomarosa. It is an exciting day. We are going to make eggnog for the first time and bottle it. We're going to bring you along for that journey. And here we are in the processing room. How excited are you today about making eggnog?
I don't know, it's a lot of unknowns. First time.
Alright, where are we right now in our status?
Got bottles washed, and now we just have to sanitize everything and then transfer the milk over from the milk house and then add all the ingredients and start pasteurizing.
You forgot about crossing your fingers. Here's a little history about eggnog that we discovered while we were testing a bunch of different recipes. So eggnog is a typical drink that has eggs and milk and usually some type of alcohol. It looks like it was invented back in around the 13th or 14th century in England. And the word nog, it comes from any kind of boozy or alcoholic drink, or also a wood cup that was referred to as a nog. And as it went through the centuries, it became sweeter, and we now have versions that don't have alcohol in it. And in the United States, to be labeled eggnog, it has to have 1% of actual egg in it. So we tested a bunch of different recipes. We, of course, are certified organic, and we didn't want to have any added thickeners or colors. So our eggnog only has our whole milk, our pasture eggs, organic raw cane sugar, and organic nutmeg. An interesting fact that we learned while we were looking into eggnog was there was an eggnog riot in 1826 at the military academy in West Point. Evidently, the cadets were really angry that the current commandant at the West Point wouldn't allow them to have alcohol during Christmas, so they smuggled in about 4 gallons of booze and they put it into the eggnog, and they all got very inebriated and started a little mini skirmish in the barracks and broke a lot of windows and furniture, and I think about a dozen to 20 of the cadets were actually court-martialed and kicked out because of eggnog. When we get to pasteurize, we have to get a couple of things ready. The first is our pasteurizer log. This is where the temperatures will be recorded. We have a little stamp of all the information we have to put in. We also have a sample bag, and that will hold the sample of what we've processed for the day. Stacy's working on lubing up the special leak detection valve.
And sanitizing.
After we get everything sanitized, we will pump in the milk.
Then 1 and 12/30 seconds. That's 118 pounds.
Well, it's finally time. We actually literally have to try to make eggnog. And of course, one of the main ingredients in eggnog is eggs. So, we have eggs from our crazy super free range hens, and they have been amazing eggs. They have a really yellow yolk, and when we did our test batches, that really helped our eggnog have that nice golden color without adding any additional colorings. We only have 10 hens though, so I only have about 38 eggs right now available of our eggs. So I had to find something that would be similar to what we have on our farm. And I found Vital Farms organic pasture raised eggs, and I cracked them in this bowl. So over here on the left side, you can see that's our egg, and on the right side is Vital Farms. And it's very important that they were pastured because that is what helps make the egg yolk so yellow. And you really have to have some type of golden color to your eggnog, because that's just part of the eggnog. Oh, I get my own dozen over here.
You get your own dozen.
That's a lot of eggs. So we have a system now. We do 2 dozen at a time. We add some sugar and nutmeg, and then we stir it all together and we put it in another bigger container. We also measure out nutmeg. Once we have our batch done, we pour it over here into our sanitized cream can. Using a little mixer tool.
Virginia is cleaning up our egg mess as we're doing Eggnog Day. And if you look out the window, there's some of our crazy free-range and chickens out with the cows having a good old time.
Here's our transferring milk process. We have our hose that goes into the pasteurizer that's connected to this pump, and that's connected to pipe that goes through the wall and connects into our bulk tank. So Stacy's already agitated the milk, and it's almost time to pump it over.
All right, go ahead and open the valve, and then we plug in the pump. Now we're going to take the lid off so we can add our other ingredients. And I'll show you what it looks like inside. This is the inside of the pasteurizer. This here is like a double boiler jacket, water jacket. There's the agitator. Now we're going to add our other ingredients. Moment of truth, here we go. Take our base.
It looks like the egg base mixed in really well with the milk. It's got a nice yellow golden color. We've got the agitator going pretty fast to make sure it all stays incorporated. We put our lid back on. We have to put in our thermometers and then start our actual chart recording and the heating of the eggnog. When we were looking at making eggnog, there are some commercial mixes out there, but we really wanted to make it just from our eggs and milk and sugar and nutmeg. So we tried a couple of different recipes that we ended up doing on our stovetop in the house, which let me tell you is not that enjoyable when you're stirring a bowl for 30 minutes over a hot water bath. But we did try different recipes, we tried different temperatures, and what we came up with is that it was 3 whole eggs with a certain amount of sugar and nutmeg to a quart of milk. We also decided that our temperature would be 165 for pasteurization. Legally, we have to pasteurize at least 155 for 30 minutes, but since the whites and the egg yolks thicken at a higher temperature, we decided that 165 in our test worked very well. Okay, here we are with the pasteurizer. I think you can see this, but we are almost at 155, which is our legal pasteurization temp. This has to be 5 degrees over. This is the airspace, and we are doing good there. We are going to keep going to 165 so that the eggs thicken correctly. Oh, also you can see our arc of the temperatures. And then it was time to start cooling it. So we pipe in the cold water, goes around the cooling process, how it rapidly cools. We're currently at 84.7 degrees. Once we get below 80, that's when we start bottling. it is the moment of truth. We are now going to start bottling and see what comes out of the pasteurizer. It looks like eggnog. It smells like eggnog. Tastes like eggnog, and it's just thick enough. Awesome, so this is our bottle. All right, let's do this. And here's one of the things we expected. We have this filter, it's like a mesh filter. And because we're using whole eggs, just like most things which are basically a custard base, you usually have to put them through a mesh after you make them to get out any of the possible little bits of cooked egg. And so we'll just have to do that intermittently as we bottle. Alright, how did bottling go?
It went pretty good. This was an all-day event, so I'm tired.
And we put our eggnog in about 35-degree water, anything that we bottle, to pre-chill it before we put it in our refrigerator. And now let's open up the pasteurizer and see what it looks like. That looks a lot better than I thought it would look. I thought it would just be coated with like nutmeg.
Yeah, I mean there is some nutmeg in here.
Now it's time to clean. So I'm gonna let these chill for a little while, and I'm going to tackle cleaning the pasteurizer because it's after 5 and Stacy went to go milk cows. I'm done cleaning the pasteurizer, and you can tell because I got water all over the front of my shirt. Now it's time to dry off the bottles and get them in the refrigerator. I got the eggnog in there, ready to sell here in about a day after it gets nice and cold. Everything is all clean and put away. Well, we did it. It's been a couple of days since we bottled our eggnog. So here it is. It's a nice yellow golden color.
We've had some already.
Yes. It stays pretty homogenized just from the action of the eggs with the milk making kind of like a light custard. Some of the nutmeg will fall out to the bottom, but it's infused throughout.
You just gotta give it a little shake.
But it, you know, with no other thickener, it coats very well. So we are going to have a little, see what it looks like. Here, I'll hold this up so you can see it pouring. And then you can see it kind of sticks to the glass, which is good. All right.
You gotta smell it first.
Oh, well, I was gonna cheer you.
Well,
Cheer.
you gotta sense the terroir.
It's very eggy, because it's eggnog. The terroir.
I think now that it's been in the bottle for a couple days, I think more of the nutmeg's coming through.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
That is good. I think it's actually better than the day we bottled it.
Well, that's what I read in some of the recipes, was that it's one of those things that ages better.
Not too long though, because it is milk. I don't know how curdled eggnog tastes, but probably not good.
So if you're looking to make eggnog on a small commercial scale, I would suggest this recipe. And you can always contact us if you have questions.
It's good.
We made this big batch. It took 159 eggs and a lot of hard work. We're going to do another batch before Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then
that'll be a wrap for this year.
Yeah.
Do it again next year. It's pretty labor intensive.
Part of that was it was the first time we did it, and we were trying to figure out our process and line up all of our ingredients, but now this next time it'll go a little quicker.
So thanks for coming along with us as we made some eggnog. If you haven't, please do subscribe. It's actually important to us. When you subscribe, you know, you get notified when we do videos, and it just helps us know that people are interested in what we're doing. So we appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on the Tomarosa.
Cheers.
Cheers.